Hi, this is Shankar once again, and today I'm making a small video on Mars and Venus in predictive astrology. Now, this is a combination which is talked a lot and said, and there are all kinds of things which are said about this combination. But what is important is you have to look at the present context, Desh Kal Patra, what is the period today, and what is the impact of this combination. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if Mars has to be summed up, Mars is desire and Venus is pleasure. If desires and the pleasure they go hand in hand, it's the best thing to happen. So my own view is that Mars and Venus as a combination without any other planet with it, Mars and Venus conjunction in the present context is an excellent conjunction. If placed properly, it will give you it will has to give you good results. If your desires are there and those desires gives you pleasure and they are fulfilled, what else you need in life? So Mars and Venus as a combination is good. Yes, I also put this caveat that it should be within 8 to 10 degrees of each other, and it, 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 it then only it gives its impact. It should not be difference of 15 degrees, 20 degrees. It should be the off should be 80 degrees. Now, between Mars and Venus is also important, as we do in Bhrigu also, to see which planet is ahead and which planet is back, depending on the degrees. If in degrees, Venus is ahead, Venus has got higher degrees, and Mars has got lower degrees, it is very good, because then your pleasures are synchronized by your desires, and it is a positive thing to happen. It is Mars which gives the energy to Venus. Venus leads for the pleasure, and Mars fulfills it in its way. On the other hand, if Mars is ahead of Venus, then you are more akin to go after your desires, and the pleasures are behind you. I mean, your desires are greater than your pleasures, you don't get satisfied. So between Mars and Venus, I would prefer Venus having a higher degree than Mars. Mars and Venus, people say immediately that this person has to be, seen, and he'll get into relationships, he'll have love. No, it's in combination where a person is fond of good things of life, the good gadgets of life, the good gizmos of life, likes to eat good food, so on and so forth. So Mars and Venus gives that tendency, which is a very good thing today. Now, briefly, I will tell you also about what is Mars and Venus in various houses. Let us see Mars and Venus if when placed in Cancer, which is the exaltation house of, I cannot cover all the 12 signs. So I'll give you an example of 4 houses. Suppose Mars is debilitated in Cancer. If Mars and Venus combination happens in Cancer, then what would happen? When Mars is in Cancer, the problem with Mars is when it is debilitated, it's very good for non-life things. Mars is a karak for property, so just forget it. It will give you property. It will give you that. If the other combinations are there, and if there is a combination of Mars and Moon, which I will deal in some other video, then it will give you property. But Mars and Venus in Cancer is very good for non-life things. Only problem with the Mars debilitated is a person is unable to say no. His power to say no is very bad. And when his power to say no is bad, and when Mars and Venus is in Cancer, it gets emotional. A soldier is in a kitchen surrounded by 5 girls. So he remains a soldier, but he's surrounded with 5 ladies in a kitchen. He also starts behaving in a slimish manner, in a sly manner, things to that effect, just to explain in a lighter way. So Mars and Venus, when in Cancer, it as to repeat, it says that the Mars cannot say no, so it becomes a little more indulgent. It becomes more indulgent in its relationships. It becomes more indulgent in emotions. It gets exploited in its emotions. It says no to at the wrong places, so on and so forth. So that is the combination of Mars and Venus in Cancer. Then you come to Mars and Venus in Capricorn, where Mars is exalted. Here, when Capricorn is a sign which talks about working, it denotes your feet. It denotes your power to work hard. So Mars is very strong here. It is desire, and also desire which is towards the right direction. So Mars and Venus in Capricorn is good. It makes you to fulfill your desire. You find your desires and pleasure in achieving material benefits. So that is where your desire and pleasure gets focused. And Capricorn as a sign believes in working hard, believes in going ahead, believes in its own ability. So Mars and Venus in Capricorn, the connotation of desire and pleasure becomes different. Here the desire is to run, to move, to go ahead, and that desire and that pleasure is fulfilled when Mars and Venus is in Capricorn. So it's a good thing there. Though Mars in Capricorn and Venus in Capricorn has certain negative connotations, which I don't want to go. But it is a positive thing to have Mars, Venus in Capricorn. It is very good for materialistic things. It makes you to rise. Now let us see Mars and Venus. When Venus is debilitated, that is in Virgo. When Venus is debilitated, Venus becomes a person who then starts looking into methods of getting pleasure by means of devious means. Like example is a lady would say, okay, instead of me making money the right way, let me give a smile and make some money. Let me get my work done through my boss by giving a smile, by by whatever जो भी अदाएं होती हैं, तो whatever the ladies have, that can be used. So that would be the mental frame when Mars and Venus is debilitated. A person wants to take shortcut in achieving his pleasures. The pleasures are achieved by shortcuts. Mars helps in that because Virgo as such is a sign which likes to take, which likes to keep things to itself. It's a sign which says हमको दे दो. It's a sign of a banya which says हमको दे दो. Give me more. I want more. I'm most important. It is first me and then others. So here when Venus and Mars are together, then the methods adopted to achieve your desires and the pleasures are in a little different way, which I've tried to explain. Mars and Venus in Pisces, the last sign of the horoscope in the planet. It's a sign of where Venus gets exalted, but people feel that Venus, when it gets exalted, it should give them a lot of money, it should give a lot of pleasure. But no, in this sign, when Venus gets exalted, means you are at the pinnacle of, you have already enjoyed a lot of pleasures in your last karmas, in your last birth. You are in the sign of Pisces. Your buddhi intellect has become better. You from buddhi, your basic buddhi is moving towards the buddhi of a Buddha. So here Venus is wrongly, my experience is as wrongly said, oh, your Venus exalted, you'll get everything in life. No, it doesn't give you much in life. It makes you to understand the futility of life. It doesn't give you too much of wealth. It will not give you too much of pleasures. It will not give you too much of other things. And Mars supports Venus in this because it's also in a friendly sign. So with the support, Mars and Venus in Pisces actually makes you more a person who's more noble, who's more humble, who's more satisfied with lesser things in life. So if there are other planets which pushes your energy for achieving material objective, this is a dampener. So contrary to what people feel, that Venus exalted with Mars should give you, make you a millionaire, make you rich, etc., etc. Doesn't happen. It could happen when Mars and Venus is in Pisces in the present, when the Mars and Venus is in Virgo in the present Kali Yuga, in the present Deshkal Patra. So this is how you have to see the combination of Mars and Venus. Of course, if you see a combination, there are hundreds of things have to be seen. But very important thing, also see the depositor of Mars and Venus. When the depositor of Mars and Venus is in 5th or 9th, it is excellent. It will give you 100% of what it is trying to tell you, positive or negative thing which is trying to tell you. When the depositor is in the kendras, like it is in 4th, 7th or 10th, it would give you around about 75% of what it is trying to confirm. So more importance I give to when it is placed, when the depositor is placed to 5th and 9th. It would be, what its promises it gives. When it kendra, it will give you between 50 to 75% of what it promises. However, when the depositor is placed in the 6th and 8th, Mars and Venus, where it is placed, the lord of that is known as a depositor. If it is placed in 6th and 8th, it will give you negative results. Please understand, it will give you negative results. Negative results in the sense is, the connotation of pleasure and desire will be there, but you will move to a certain extent and then, you will fail. I mean, you try to achieve those objectives, you will fail. If Mars and Venus, assuming, is in Virgo, and the depositor of that is Mercury, is in 6th or 8th house, from wherever it is placed, it will make you to move all the slime activities. You will work, you will think, you will do, you will plan, you will scheme, but at the end of the day, you may fail. End of the day, end will be that you would fall, which is bad, which is frustrating. So please see the depositor. The depositor is placed in the 6th and 8th. Stop there and then predict the very good things. It will give to, it will start, it will make you have that energy, it will make you work, but finally it will not give you. When it is placed 12th, it shows that actually you work more, you work harder, and then get it. I mean, by the time you get what is told in by that Mars and Venus symbol in that whatever house it is there, by the time you get it, actually you've done a lot of efforts. You make a lot of, your efforts are much more than what you get. You may get something, you may get whatever, but you have to make greater efforts. That is what is when the depositor of Mars and Venus is placed in 12th. So look at this aspect carefully, and of course the results would be more prominent in the dasha of Mars, dasha of Venus, and in the bhuktis of Mars and Venus. Plus, please be rest assured that also look at the nakshatra lord of Mars and Venus. They may also have the energy of Mars and Venus there. So those are the things which you have to take. Also, when I'm talking about Mars and Venus, let me tell you something. My experience is whenever Jupiter Venus antara comes, it is going to bring about a change in your life. It is going to create upheavals for a positive or negative. That will depend on entire horoscope. But Jupiter Venus will create problems, issues in your life. It will be the turning point. If you have Jupiter Anta and Venus Bhukti comes, it is going to be an issue. Similarly, when the dasha of Mercury Mars, when dasha of Mercury is there and Antar of Mars comes, and vice versa also, there will be problems for the houses depicted by Mars and Mercury, unless and until Mars is debilitated. If Mars is debilitated and then the Antar of Mars comes, or the dasha of Mercury comes with the bhukti of Mars, it will not be that bad, because there are reasons to it. So these are like short things which I'm telling you. Do apply them. Let me know. I don't have the time, but this is what my experience is. I'm not saying I'm right. Try it, apply it, write to me, comment on me, and tell me. It helps me, it helps you. It helps me in writing my books. It's a research for me. So that's my take. That is why I spend some time on doing these videos. Thanks. Bye for now. You can write to me, and you have all my details down. My site, my email ID. You can write to me. If I get the time, I'll reply to you. Thanks, and bye for now. This is Shankar signing out.